Well, we have a couple of big announcements that I want to make. So most of this past week has been focused on kind of the history of StockCharts. The 20th anniversary seemed to be something that we wanted to commemorate. But I am always focused on the future. I think the past is great, but it's always just like with the stock market. What are you doing for me lately? And what are you going to do for me in the future? And we understand that. We're focused on that here at StockCharts. And I want to basically report to our members, as it were, our users, the people that care about our charting tools, what we're up to, what we've been doing, and how it benefits them, and what we're going to do in the future, which I think will really benefit them. So when I think about the future, the first thing is I do want to mention that we have consistency in what we're doing. We have a mission. We've been following that mission from day one. You've heard me say it probably in the video interviews earlier this week. It's the same thing. We want to help online investors make better investing decisions by providing high quality financial charts, analysis tools, commentary, and education. We think combining all those things together into a unified package, especially the education component of it, really helps people benefit from all the tools and data visualization that we provide. So we're going to continue to focus on that very carefully. Underneath the covers for the past year, I've mentioned this a couple of times, but I haven't mentioned it recently, and I wanted to make sure everyone was aware of this. There has been a huge kind of ground shift underneath your feet. We've tried very hard to make this shift invisible to people, but I cannot stress to you the changes in technology that have happened over the past year and that are continuing to happen. Essentially, when we started 20 years ago, there was no such thing as the cloud, and we had to have our own data center. In fact, I'm looking at it right now. It's across the room as I sit here in StockCharts studios. That data center, we've been maintaining it for 20 years. We've done a reasonably good job with it, but it's no fun maintaining a data center. If the power dies, if other kinds of problems happen, then we're on the hook to get all that fixed. And I think we've done a reasonable job for that, but there have been a couple of hiccups over the past 20 years, as you might imagine. We are now moving to the cloud, and we've been moving to the cloud for the past year. At this point, I can report to you that over 75% of the servers in our original data center are now turned off. We are providing most of the charting capabilities at StockCharts from the cloud. And in fact, 100% of our SharpCharts charting tool, all of that comes from the cloud now. And there's some significant advantages to that, although those advantages are not necessarily obvious to someone just using our site. If you're used to using our site, you're used to it performing well and providing you with great accurate charts. And that continues to be the case. However, behind the scenes, our charts are now more reliable. They're faster. We can make them, we can react to demand much quicker, so on and so forth. So let me go over these 4 key improvements that moving our charts to the cloud have provided. The first is high availability. So we're using the Amazon cloud, AWS, and the Amazon data centers are frankly way better than the data center that we have here. The one we have here is fine, it's good, but it's ours and it's in an office building, and it has some weaknesses. So by moving into an Amazon data center, we become much more reliable automatically. And in fact, in January, when we moved SharpCharts in there, we were more reliable right out of the get-go. They have better power, backup, heating, cooling, all that other stuff they have, and we take advantage of. And then really cool, last week, there's a little techie, I know, but it's really cool. Last week, with a press of a button, we actually then split our SharpCharts tool, so it now runs in 2 different Amazon data centers, meaning that if there ever is a problem in the first one, the second one's going to automatically take over and handle things. So while there have been and there may still be a couple of growing pains and hurdles for us to fully overcome, we are fundamentally in a better position technically than we've ever been in terms of providing reliability and availability, high availability to our users. And that's a good thing. Related to that is the concept of scalability, the ability for us to react if there's a large change in demand for our charts. So what I have up here on the is a graph of the charting engines, the charting servers that we use. And this graph is from this morning. The times are in Pacific time zone. And what it shows is down at the bottom, this was before the market opened. We only had a couple of servers that were running and serving charts because we only needed a couple of servers to run and serve charts. Right here, before the market opened at 6:30 Pacific time, we got ready. So we scaled up by adding a whole bunch of servers. We probably added 15 servers at this point. That's what all this jumble is. When we did that, and before the market opened, our ability to serve charts became very, very quick. We do that a little early just to make sure that we have all of our charts servers ready to go. It's right at 6:30. And you can see at 6:30, then the demand for our charts increased, and it got up into our target zone. Between these two lines, this is our target zone. We did some things here. Don't worry about these lines. These are allowing us to use other kinds of servers that don't cost so much. We do that after the market is fully open, and we do it behind the scenes so that nobody notices. And then we continue on. The important thing is if there was a traffic spike and these lines started moving significantly above the top dotted line, we'd simply add more charting servers. We would get more charting servers from Amazon. We'd immediately add them just like we did down here, and we'd be able to handle that load. And then later when the market closes, we start giving these servers back to Amazon. And again, then we're back here during the evening, during the early morning hours. We don't need as many servers, and so we don't have them. That's really, really good. You can also see over here, just as a quick little note, this column labeled AZ. These are the two different data centers I mentioned. Half of our charting engines are in A, and the other half are in B, and they're ready to take over if one of them fails. And the result of all this is actually, since we moved into Amazon, we've been sending out a record number of charts. And every day, more and more charts, more than we've ever sent out before, are going out to our customers. The data center, again, that we had here on premises was great, but it was limited in the number of servers that it had. That number could never get bigger or get smaller. It was always the same. Now we're able to scale dynamically. Very good. Data security. So by data security, I'm specifically talking about backups and our ability to retain your information, keep it safe, keep it protected. And if for some reason there's a problem, the ability to restore that data. Up in the cloud, there's a ton of disk space. Down here in our data center, not so much. And that's actually been a problem in the past in terms of the number of, or the amount and the duration of backups that we have retained. In the cloud, backing up data, the space there is essentially unlimited. And so we're going to be able to back up data and restore data much more effectively in the cloud. And in addition, the database itself that we're using, the databases we use here have been very, very good, but that sometimes they get, for lack of a better word, cranky. And sometimes it's a little frustrating to manage them. The data servers in the cloud, it's just one data server, and it can grow and scale as much as it needs to. It's much, much easier to manage data when you're using a cloud-based database. All right, so those are just standard things. You expect that from StockCharts. We've been delivering it for 20 years, and all I'm saying now is we can deliver it even more effectively. That's the bottom line there. But the future is really where things are at. What are we going to now be able to do? Well, our data center here in StockCharts is also essentially at capacity. So adding additional capability, adding a lot more features that would require a lot more servers, that was really not in the cards using the data center here. In the cloud, we can do anything we want. And so the real benefits of this change, as I say on this slide, come from what cloud computing enables. Some of those improvements are already here, and I just talked about them. Some I'm going to announce today, and then a ton more are coming in the future. And I think the next 20 years may be even better and show more growth capacity, and more potential for amazing things from StockCharts than the previous 20 years. And that's a bold statement, but that's my hope. And the cloud is going to enable that. So what are some immediate benefits of the cloud that you're seeing? Well, immediately, we are announcing today that our Chart Watchers newsletter is going from a bi-weekly publication to a weekly publication. That's not necessarily a huge cloud benefit, but it's a big deal in terms of you'll be hearing from more of our commentators on a weekly basis through our Chart Watchers newsletter. And if you're not subscribed to that, I strongly encourage you to subscribe. That's also where we're going to continue to make announcements about additional new features that we provide to the site. On all of our blog articles, we have now just added, as of yesterday, something called text to speech, if I could speak, versions of all of our commentary. We're adding that to our blog articles. We're adding it to our educational articles in Chart School. And so you will start to see at the top of everybody's blog a little button, and you can just click that button if you want to listen to the blog being read to you. That's provided by a service that Amazon has called Polly. And we think it's really, it's a convenience. It's not super wonderful. Some people still want to just print it out and read, and you can do that. But if you just want to listen to the latest blog article from Greg Schnell or whoever, you can do that and just click the button and you'll hear it. Yesterday, we moved our scan engine up into the cloud. I mentioned that our charting engines were up there. Our goal is to move everything. And yesterday, we moved our scanning engines up there. So not only are the scanning engines now in a much better data center with all the benefits I mentioned before, but they also run faster and they load data faster and they're able to do their scans faster. And so just by moving them up there, we've got immediate benefits to getting to much faster updates to the scan data. And so you're getting near real-time results when you run your scans for the people that really care about minute-by-minute data. And then the final thing that I want to mention right now is we have partnered, when we moved to the cloud, we also partnered with a new data provider. And this new data provider is very exciting. They are cloud-based. They are cloud-oriented, meaning that they are giving us much better and faster access to data in the cloud than any other data vendor that we could have gone with. The name of the company is Xignite. We think they do a great job. We're still in the process of transitioning all of our data over to Xignite. Once that process is complete, however, we will be 100% cloud-oriented, both in terms of where we get our data and in terms of how we display the data. So really looking forward to that. There's several other things that Xignite provides that we should be able to take advantage of down the road. Okay, so that's what's available right now. What's coming? Well, we've got a lot of things in the pipeline. We are working very hard on an official StockCharts app. It'll run on both iPhone and Android. You'll be able to see your chart list. You'll be able to swipe back and forth to move through those chart lists. You'll be able to manage your chart list very quickly and easily. It's going to make it, it's essentially a companion for the use of the website. You create your charts on the website, you make them look really great, and then you can take them with you on your phone no matter where you are and be able to see them very easily and quickly. We've always had a web version of our website. This is an actual app, and it will have a lot more user interface that people who use the phone are used to seeing. An even bigger initiative that's underway. I don't have anything official to announce about this. This will be happening over the course of the next year. It's already, a lot of groundwork has been laid. We'll have official announcements later. Is StockCharts University. If those of you have been paying attention, there's lots of online university classes available these days from real universities as well as other kinds of organizations. We're going to leverage all of that. We're going to provide online learning experience that's really customizable and very tailored to technical analysis, learning charts. Very, very excited about that. Look for something about that soon. Another thing super interesting and fascinating, I think, and hopefully a big hit down the road, is what we call our gamification initiative. In other words, we want to take the charting capability that we have and allow people to use it for things other than necessarily the stock market. So for instance, fantasy trading. It's like paper trading on steroids. It's like fantasy football, only with stocks. And we're actually very far along on our progress with the fantasy trading game. I'm not officially announcing it yet, but I hope to officially announce it within the next couple of months as we continue to work out some of the details on it. I think that'll be super exciting once that's available. Obviously, StockCharts TV is a cloud-oriented technology that we continue to use. We have been, and we will continue to put more and more video content, educational content from StockCharts TV up into the cloud. So much more from all the capabilities of the cloud. But there is one more thing. Everybody see Steve Jobs do his presentations at Apple? He would always end up with, oh, and there's one more thing. Here's the iPhone, something big. So I'm trying to do that. And this one more thing we're super excited about. It's called StockCharts ACP. ACP stands for Advanced Charting Platform. We're announcing it today, and we will be delivering it today. It is simply the web's most powerful interactive charts. I think you're going to be super excited about this. So let me start with a quick demo. StockCharts has always been about high quality charts, but most of our high quality charts have been generated on the server. The charts have not been super interactive. We provide things like chart notes and the annotation tools and so on and so forth. But to make the charts super interactive, we needed the browsers to get better. And the browsers have gotten better. If you haven't noticed over the past couple of years, browsers are much more capable now. And so you've seen this at other websites. We know other websites exist that do similar stuff. But we've been working hard behind the scenes to take all of our knowledge of charts, our capability that we now have in the cloud, and bring that together into a truly amazing and interactive charting experience. So this is a very, very preliminary version of the full edition of StockCharts ACP. In just a minute, I'm going to show you how you can use what we're releasing today, which is what we're calling a technology preview edition of StockCharts ACP. But it has all of the interactivity that you would expect, all of the streaming. You can zoom in, you can zoom out, you can add annotations. There are tons and tons and tons of different indicators that you can add, much more than what we currently have, frankly. You can change the look and the feel of things. I always like the mountain view, back and forth. We can add some really cool interactivity, as you can add a second charting line and then move that back and forth. Am I hearing oohs and ahs out there on the internet? Hopefully, maybe a couple of oohs and ahs. Our focus here, just to be clear, is on the interactivity of this chart. We already have a really great charting package, Sharp Charts for static charts, charts that you want to review in a more static way. That's what people have been doing with StockCharts for 20 years. This is for the people that want to reach in and touch the charts, drag the charts, look at comparisons, make comparisons, that kind of thing. And so we have the ability to see lists of ticker symbols and how those symbols are doing. We're going to be able to connect these lists up with your chart lists, scan results. All of the different things that you're used to providing will be available to you here as part of the ACP platform. And then I also want to say the ACP platform, advanced charting platform, the platform portion of that means that we are partnering with other companies. We're partnering with other individuals and companies to provide us with even additional indicators, capabilities, adding to this charting platform that will just continue to grow and expand what's available. So there was one other thing I wanted to show you real quick, is that ACP is also about multi-chart. So here's a quick example of multi-chart, and we're working really hard to make it very easy to shift and move charts around and keep a lot of different charts open on your screen very quickly, very easily switching between them. You notice I'm using the full screen of my display, and that would be true if my display was super huge or if I had 2 displays, 3 displays, so on and so forth. So all of that capability is there. We're working really hard on making it very, very easy to use. But if I go back to my demo or to my presentation now, I do need to make a couple of things clear. Again, ACP is everything that we know about charting, everything that we've learned from you, our users, over the years about charting, about what's important, combined with the cloud to give a great interactive charting experience that's available anywhere. So that's the mission statement there. And as I mentioned, our technology preview edition is available for free right now. I'm going to give you the URL in just a minute, but I don't want to give it to you this second because I want to do a demo. And if I give it to you right now, you're not going to pay attention to the demo and things might bog a little bit. So the ACP technical preview is what's available to now. It doesn't have everything that I just showed you. It has a lot of what I just showed you, but not everything. And part of that is because we're still working on all the details for the advanced version of StockCharts ACP. But we have enough in place that I really wanted to get this out to everybody, especially as part of our 20th anniversary. And so this is what that looks like. You have a limited number of symbols that you can use, And that's just so that we can make sure that we're delivering on the back end the data appropriately. You have a limited number of periods that are available, daily, weekly, and we do provide 5-minute as well. You have a limited number, but still cool, of charting types, and so on and so forth. These are the different indicators that are available, color schemes, and you do have the ability to have up to 4 charts on your screen at the same time. By the way, if you don't like the numbers that appear when you mouse over, you can click on the little target here, and then you shouldn't see them. I guess you don't see them right in the chart that's selected. There we go. There we go. So I think you'll be able to just play with this and figure this out. We don't have documentation really for this. We don't have support for this. That's why it's a technology preview. We're working really hard on putting those finishing touches on the real deal, and we'll have that real deal available for you later this year. I'm going to give you a timeline in just a second. But I still think, and I still wanted to get out to everybody all the different things, or all the things that we do have ready, and so you can begin to play with it and see what we're doing. So hopefully that'll be useful for you. It is all free, and it's all available for you right now. Here's the URL. It's down at the bottom of this slide, stockcharts.com/ACP-demo. And I know that right now all of y'all are hitting that URL immediately at the same exact time. I think it'll go well. We've scaled out our charting, our cloud systems artificially to make sure it goes well for you. That's available now. The full version will start to beta test in June. Look for announcements in ChartWatcher's newsletter. And then we hope to have the full version released by August, if not sooner. We've made a ton of progress, and we will continue to make progress until that's available and out for everybody to use. So some quick FAQs. I'm going long, but it's important. I want to make sure people are understand. StockCharts ACP is in addition to SharpCharts. We're not changing anything about our existing charting platform. It's still there. It still works exactly like it's always worked. ACP will not replace it. ACP complements SharpCharts, and SharpCharts complements ACP. A chart that you create in one won't necessarily be available perfectly in the other one, but we will allow you to at least move ticker symbols and the basic configuration of charts between the two platforms. But not everything will move. There are some features that will only be SharpCharts features, and there's some features that will only be ACP features. That's fine. You'll use whichever tool is the most appropriate for you each time. Again, how much does ACP cost? It is free. It is free in the sense that SharpCharts is free. We have a free version of SharpCharts. If you're a member, you get additional capability and you get additional access to data. So you get access to intraday data. You get access to real-time data. You get access to longer amounts of data, so on and so forth. That's what a StockCharts membership provides. And ACP works exactly the same way. There'll be a free version, but if you're a member, you will be able to do more, and you'll be able to save your work. What data does StockCharts ACP use? We worked really hard on this. It uses the exact same data that SharpCharts uses. It uses our data. It doesn't use anybody else's data. So that includes data that has been adjusted and maintained for technical analysis purposes. That's always been our goal, and we have that data. We provide it to SharpCharts, and you'll see the exact same data in StockCharts ACP. And so how does StockCharts ACP stack up to the competition? Well, we think it stacks up really, really well. We think our focus on interactivity and our focus on knowing what users really need from a charting platform is going to make ACP the most powerful interactive charting platform on the web. And then you probably have a question, at least one or two in your mind right now. Will I be able to do X? Will I be able to do Y? The answer is hopefully. The answer is we can't answer that question right now. Wait until the full version's available in beta. We'll have our support staff up and ready to go, answering your questions. We'll be able to take a lot of suggestions for improvements and so on and so forth at that time. At this point with the technology preview, it is what it is. And hopefully you'll get a sense of things by using it. But just hold those questions. You're going to be amazed by everything that the full version can do, even above and beyond what the technology preview can do. And at that point, then you'll be able to get the answer to, will I be able to? I hope, and I expect the answer will be yes. And so again, thank you for listening. StockCharts ACP will be simply the web's most powerful interactive charts. There's the link one more time. I hope you enjoy it.
Hey, Chip. First of all, this has been a tremendous week. You started it off going through a lot of the stuff that we've been through the last 20 years, and I think you're wrapping up the week here going through a lot of exciting stuff at StockCharts as we move forward. There were a couple of questions in the room. One is just very general question. How many people use StockCharts.com?
We do not know the answer to that. We do track members, but a long time ago, I stopped tracking the free users of the site because basically it put me into analysis paralysis, if you know what I mean. There's so many different metrics and other kinds of things you can do. We watch our servers. We make sure our servers handle the load. We do watch for nefarious traffic. But in terms of just actual individuals that come each day, we don't track that anymore. We just track subscribers.
Okay, fair enough. And the second question is, how might the move to 5G affect StockCharts?
Well, it won't affect us directly per se. I mean, obviously, the increase in bandwidth is always a good thing for the internet as a whole and for StockCharts. We're starting, like StockCharts ACP, we're starting to provide capabilities that do require more and more bandwidth. And if consumers have more bandwidth on their phones, if they have more bandwidth at their houses because of 5G, that's a great thing for us. We're all about, if the more bandwidth everyone has, the happier we are. There are some more challenges on the phones and mobile devices in terms of screen real estate, in terms of user interface. Sometimes you really do need the precision of a mouse when you're dragging things around. But in general, we are trying to support as best we can the mobile platforms, and 5G will just continue to help us with that. Awesome.
Okay. Well, it has been a great week, and I really want to thank you, Chip, for stopping by and walking through with John. That was both those presentations were awesome. Great way to finish off the week, our finale for sure.
Well, yes. Again, I appear on the show from time to time. It has been a while, and I apologize for that. But as you can see, I've been a little busy. We're working hard behind the scenes. So even if you don't hear my voice, just rest assured that I'm working hard in the background to try and make the site the best it can be.
Sounds good. Appreciate it, Chip. Thank you.